Welcome back to Soccer Gaming, and welcome back to a new year of Kansas Jayhawk Football Dynasty Rebuild. And in this episode, we're going to go through the preseason. We're going to kind of get everything figured out with the prospects, with the schedules, everything like that. And then we actually don't have a game week 1, so we're going to go ahead and skip through week 1 and start in week 2. So if you guys would like to watch that, stick around. All right, I already went through the recruiting board and the scouting prospects and everything, and what I did is I added everyone that I feel like we have a chance at getting and addressing what I want. So what I did first, and to prove that I did this, so I went through and I got guys that I thought we could get. Like this guy, I just don't have what I think he needs to join our team. You know, I went through, I scouted him and everything. Felt like he was not going to fit kind of what we want. Power back at 6'3", his speed. I mean, I don't even know. Yeah, I can't even look at it. I think his speed was like a 77 or something. And I'm like, it's not worth. I can't. It's not how it's going to work. So I went through and added the people that were 4 stars and 5 stars that already had us initial interest in us. I went and added them to our scouting board. Then after I did that, I went and filled in the rest with 3 stars. So that's kind of what I've done. I did it the same thing last year. I went through and added people in pipeline states with 3-star that I felt like would fit the scheme that we want. So going through there, I know we need a quarterback, and we actually had 2 4-stars wanting to join us here, 4th and 5th there. So I went through, I scouted him. I said, hey, you know what? This guy's good. 84 speed. That's kind of exactly what we want. We want to be able to get outside the pocket and run if we need to. We just don't want pocket passers. I'll be honest with you. Then we look at Westbrooks. We see, he's good, but the speed 77 isn't great. So I'll be honest with you, we added him just in case we can't get Shabazz. If we can't get Shabazz, then I feel like Westbrooks will be kind of not the secondary prize. Like, he's still going to be good, but he's probably not going to fit exactly the scheme that we want. But if we had to use him for a year or two and kind of get through the motions or whatever, then so be it. He's still a good quarterback. Then we went out and found this guy, and he actually ended up being a gem. But the thing I like most about it is a 90 speed and 95 throw power. The rest of the stuff we can kind of work on. If you actually look at him, 58 awareness is literally the worst thing he has on him. I would assume, and I could be wrong, I would assume his development trait is actually pretty high. His mentals, road dog, the natural, the option king, off platform, all of that stuff is very, very good. And he's only a 3-star. He is not interested in us. But again, we went through and said the same thing as last year. If the 4 or 5 stars are not interested in us, we will not pursue them. We will only pursue 3 stars and below that we feel like could benefit us if they're not interested. So this guy is not interested yet, but again, we're trying to make Georgia a pipeline state, so that way we can kind of reach out and grab Georgia guys later on. And he kind of fits all over the bill. He fits what we want out of a quarterback. He's 6'4", huge guy, scrambler, super fast, could be a wide receiver as well. But anyways, yeah, where he's good, we're going to like him. I think we should throw him on there and try to get him. Then we go over to halfback, where I feel like we still need quite a few good halfbacks. I feel like we've got a couple seniors coming up that are going to be leaving, and then after that, we really have nobody kind of filling those shoes. So that being said, we really need to fill in with some good running backs to kind of build behind. And I think we found one in Matthew Speed, which we are actually second on his list as a 4-star. So we went ahead and added him. Kind of love everything about him. 95 speed is nutty. Also loving the yellow or gold abilities. The 4-star gem, which basically means he's kind of a 5-star. I feel like this guy is kind of he's a game breaker. He's kind of a guy that could really open up games and just, you know, make big plays when he needs to, and he's just a guy that could definitely change the outlook of games based on just him and his play. Same thing. Max O'Malley, a little different. I feel like he's not as fast. He kind of has some things he has, like the fan favorite, the winning time, that stuff is great. He's a 3-star diamond, which means he plays are going to be coming to come in as a 4-star, but he's not on our list, so we're going to try to get him from New York. That's going to be kind of a reach. We don't have New York as a pipeline state, so it's going to be kind of tough to grab. This guy's from Georgia, trying to build pipeline state there, 91 speed. Same thing with this guy, 91 speed from Arkansas. I feel like he's definitely a guy that could help us out there at halfback, so going after 4 halfbacks. Wide receivers going to be something we definitely touch on and try to get a few good ones here. Again, we looked for speed, we looked for height, 6'2", 92 speed. This guy's 5'11", 91 speed. Now this is a 5-star guy. Again, we are 10th on his list, so even though he doesn't show up there in the overview, we are 10th, basically just seeing how it's going to go. I don't think we're going to get this guy. I'm honestly not going to put a lot into him, mostly because I just don't think it's worth all of the time and effort to try to get him and lose out on other guys that I feel like could come to Kansas and still make a difference. So he's going to be a guy that, like, we're going to check him out. We're going to see how good we know how good he is, but we're going to see what other teams do. And if other teams don't pursue him, then we'll go after him. If other teams pursue him, if he gets like 3 or 4 offers there against top teams like Missouri, Texas, Ohio State, teams like that, then we're not going to pursue him after this week. The next guy is a 3-star Dragos, a deep threat, 5'11", 91 speed, JUCO junior. So I'm thinking he comes in as probably a low 80. I would assume he is a gym 3-star, saying that he's about a 4-star. He's a junior. I would assume he's over 80 at some point. So he would be a guy that kind of fits in right away, which kind of is what we need a wide receiver. We don't have a lot of wide receivers this year, and next year they're just going to be young. So to bring in a junior JUCO transfer like this guy could definitely benefit us next year. Then we go next to Mike Ford, 89 speed, but he's 6'2", from Texas, Pipeline State, that type of thing. This guy I'm actually really excited about, Demetrius Osborne, 6 foot, 178, 93 speed. I think he would definitely be a really, really good slot guy, and having a 6-foot slot guy would definitely benefit us. And again, California, we're trying to make into a pipeline state. This guy, Eli Swain, 6 foot, as well, 90 speed, got a couple mentals there, from Louisiana, again trying to make a pipeline state. Georgia, this guy Jamar Davis, 6 foot, 89 speed, which I feel like 89 speed is kind of the cutoff. It's got to be 89 or above. And then Deion Stokes, which I think is going to be a huge get if we can get him, 6'3", 93 speed, 92 acceleration. That is huge. So if we could possibly pick this guy off, again, a 3-star gym, we'll see who goes after him, but Florida would be an amazing pipeline state there as well. Already got a few guys from there on our board. Tight end, last year we did really good tight end wise, so I didn't feel like we really needed to go after too much at a tight end, but seeing this guy as a vertical threat, seeing he's an 83 speed and he's 6'4", I think he would fit in. I'm not going to put a ton of value on him right now because I don't know if we're going to even get him. I think he's a really good prospect, but you could already tell that they're getting pretty close to cut off at top 8 already. So if we don't even make that list, I'm not hurting. We got plenty of tight ends last year to kind of build that up. Now, something I learned from playing this game and everything is you really do need a good offensive line and a good defensive line. Last year, I felt like Ohio State really kind of took it to us in that second half because we could not hold the line offensively. I also feel vice versa. Last year, we couldn't go with a 4-man rush and get to the quarterback. We really needed to bring blitzes, exotic blitzes at specific times to make those things work, and it would be nice as if we could get a 4-man blitz by just sending the 4-man guy, like the 4-man guys down on the ball. So I really want to address and I really want to bring in some really good prospects and really good players on the offensive line and defensive line. So we're going to try to do that this year. This guy is really good. He's 6th on our list. Really like what he has to bring. He's a 4-star guy from Arizona. Hopefully we can get him. 6'8" is a huge guy, by the way. 294 is a little small. Like you would think he'd be like 350 at 6'8", but 294 is just saying he's an agile guy. And I love that his tendency is power. But then you go to here, you see the 90 strength and everything like that. But you also see that his other stuff is good as well. I think a lot of his the 4-star ability comes from his awareness and his speed, which again at right tackle, you're not really pulling him or anything like that. At 6'8", you're not really trying to pull him or anything. So I think he would be actually really, really good there at the right tackle position. Gio Garrison, pass protector from Lee Summit, Missouri. Again, trying to bring in the Missouri, Kansas guys as much as we possibly can. Now, what I love about this guy, 6'5", 298, big guy, right tackle, the pocket shield, the play action shield, the road dog already. That tells me that he's going to come in and he's going to be a beast already. So if we could possibly get this guy, he's probably one of the main guys we're going to go after here early. But look who we have to go against. Missouri, Ohio State, Notre Dame, Texas, OU, Alabama. It's not going to be easy to try to grab this guy, especially because his deal breaker is pro potential. Now, I know I have an A- pro potential, but you know, looking at the other schools, Ohio State, Notre Dame, Texas, OU, Alabama, all of these teams probably have A+ on pro potential, and depending on what his other stuff is, we're probably going to get outbeat. Now, if he likes like playing time, pro potential, and proximity to home, then we might be good. But other than that, we might be kind of losing out on that guy. So again, I'm not selling out on him very much. Some of these other guys I threw in here and kind of just liked what they were. Like 6'7", 312 is a huge dude like that from Texas. And then Nick Payne down here from Georgia, kind of building those Georgia roots as well. But we'll have to see, because we might get beat out. They might go top 8 right away, and we might lose out on them, and that's fine because there's still plenty of other guys to go after. Then we go over to offensive guard, which we got a 4-star guy here, interest 2. I'm hoping I can grab this guy. Again, he's going to be one of the main guys we go after. The 91 strength already, the 87 impact block as a left guard. 64 speed's not great, but again, if he's not pulling and stuff like that, then he should be fine. He should hold up there against the run, basically, is what I think he would be really, really good at blocking. And then we got some other guys to try to help us here as well. I kind of went for big dudes with some power. So you see the tendency there, power. I want some power behind these guys. I want these guys to be strong. I want them to move lines. I want to get those 3-4 yard gains every time I hand it off. I don't really care about these like agile, guys that can get out on screens and block for screens. I'm not really looking for that. I'm looking for just pound the ball down their throat, that type of offensive guy. So that's kind of where I went with the offensive line. Now the defensive line. A little more tough because I feel like we didn't really get anybody that wanted to come here right away. And so I think we're going to have to really work at trying to get some defensive linemen in door. But I do think it's possible. Childress, Chubb, 2 guys that I think could definitely help us there. And then we got some defensive tackles, which we actually have 2 4-star guys here. We'll have to see how they kind of shake out. Both I think would be good. I think would really help. But we have to see kind of how this all goes out, because I would say this guy at 74, he could go to end. He could really move to end and be fine there. This guy probably not so much. 61 speed's not great. 74 speed is something you could do as an end. So it might be a guy we kind of move to end there, and this guy we keep at defensive tackle. And then I love this guy's name, Felix Thrasher. And the reason I got him, 6'5", 290, power rusher from Oklahoma. I think he's going to be really, really good for us if we can grab him. Then we got the outside linebackers. Edward Cohn, going to be the guy we kind of go after main. Right now, he's looking like he's probably going to go to K-State. But we're going to try our best to possibly get him in here and, get a 4-star on our thing. After that, we went mostly for pass coverage. I really like the pass coverage guys. We got a guy on our team right now that's like 93 speed, which is just crazy. But like, you could stick with tight ends. You could stick with slots and stuff like that. You can get out the zone coverage a lot quicker. That stuff is all beneficial to me as long as you don't lose the main things like tackle, pursuit, acceleration, stuff like that. Now, I'm not looking for these guys to have 80 zone coverage and 80 man coverage. I don't want that. I just want them to be able to be quick, get to the ball quickly, a toss, HB toss, crack toss to the right. I want them to be able to get downfield and get them before they passed, 5-10 yards. So that's kind of what I went after here as well. I know that these guys, you see, this guy's a power rusher. What I like most about him, he's a power rusher, but guess what? He's an 81 speed. That tells me that this guy is going to be quick, but he's also going to be a powerful guy. And that's what I like to see from this guy, is that, he does have the speed. 81 speed's pretty good for a linebacker, compared to some. This guy's 84, this guy's 84, this guy's 81. Again, like, you get above 80 as a linebacker, you're looking pretty good. And then we haven't really gone after middle linebacker. I will address once the first week goes. So once I go through first week and I see who kind of drops off, the middle linebacker, corner, free safety, and safety, I will address all those. The reason I don't have them on the list right now is I had no 4 stars except for one corner on this list. So I'm thinking, well, I can drop off the guys that, might not come, those 4 stars and 5 stars that aren't going to come, drop them off the list next week and put on some 3 stars at these positions and kind of fill it in that way. But the corner we did kind of go after is Kevin Ximes from Waco, Texas. 96 speed. This dude looks good. I do see that he's a broken gem, but honestly, as a 5-star, if he's there, I'm getting him. I'm taking him. I want him. But he's not a guy we're going to chase down the end of the world for with that. Now, some really big names, honestly, that I feel like are game breakers. Matthew Speed, he's going to get all of our attention there. Shabazz, he's going to get all of our attention there. I would say probably not Cone. The guard or the tackles and stuff, I love that. Honestly, this guy, not really. I mean, I would love to have him. I think he's good. I think he'd be really good. 92 speed, 91 acceleration, 95 agility. But I'm not, again, he's not a guy I'm going to like full out pursue and like, break bread on it. Same thing with this corner. Not really. So Yaboa, a guy that I think would be really, really good for us at quarterback there. Osborne, I really, really like him. I like what he has. Some of these guys I would love to have. I'm trying to look for the guys that like I'm going all out for. So yeah, there's like 5 or 6 guys I would go all out for, and some of them are even 3 stars. So that all being said, I wanted to show you kind of what I had going into it. I did have some 5 stars and some 4 stars wanting to be on the team, but there is no 5 or 4 stars on the scouting board that were not initially interested in us. So, that all being said, I've already done the custom schedules, and I got to make a little adjustment here. I don't remember if we played at Missouri or home. I believe we played at home versus Missouri. This year is away. So, I'm going to leave it there. If we played at their stadium last year, then oops, my bad. But we're going to start off the season with Ball State at home. David Booth, Kansas Memorial Stadium. Week 2, we're going to go to Missouri. Then we're going to have week 3, week 4 off. Going to play Utah, currently ranked number 10 in the nation. Utah was the team we played last year in the Big 12 bowl game to get to the playoffs. Going to probably be a tough one this year as well. Then we got Purdue at home, week 6, kind of our last game there. I wanted to, again, every year we want to play a not so good team. That's Ball State. We want to play Missouri, and then we want to play a ranked team. Now, if Missouri is ranked, which they are this year, then we're going to play another medium, okay, good team. So we're going to play a team that's close to 500. That is Purdue. We're going to go ahead and play them week 6. Week 7, we're going to go to Arizona. Week 8, home versus Oklahoma State. Then we're going to go to Iowa State. Then we have 3 home games in a row, week 10, week 11, and week 12. Week 10, West Virginia, week 11, Cincinnati, and week 12 against Kansas State. And then we finish off the last 2 weeks away against UCF and Texas Tech. Now, going through this, if I had to predict, I'm going to go with a win there, probably a loss there, probably a loss at Utah. I would say, depending on how good Oklahoma State actually is, I would say probably a loss to Oklahoma State, probably a loss to Iowa State. I honestly don't expect us to get to the playoffs this year. Our team isn't built that way. Our team last year was really built to win then, and the recruits that we got in are still young, and they haven't kind of progressed yet. Now, we could have addressed a bunch of them with JUCO transfers last year, but I don't want to just keep throwing JUCO transfers in every year and keep staying there. I want to build a core group of guys and build a team completely around them. So that's kind of what we did with the recruiting and everything. So this year, honestly, expecting a down year. If I can get a win against Kansas State or a win at Missouri, then I am more than happy to do that. If those are the only 2 wins I get, then I'm good with it. But anyway, not expecting a big year from Kansas. I'll be honest with you. We had a really good year last year, going 10-4, 7-2 in conference. We ended up winning the Big 12 championship game. We ended up going to the playoffs, where we got absolutely curb stomped by Ohio State, who actually ended up winning it all. So it's nothing to like be upset about, but it just kind of stinks that, you know, we got curb stomped against Ohio State, which after the halftime, if you guys didn't watch it, after halftime, I think the score was 14-14 at halftime or something like that. Then the third quarter, I think they scored 27 in the third quarter or something like that. It was not good, and we ended up basically getting blown out. But that's going to be the schedule for this year. We're going to go ahead and go on to next week. We're going to see all of the players that people like, or, you know, like us and all that stuff. And then once we get to the point where we are playing games, then we'll definitely, so it looks like we got locked out of a bunch of these guys, which is to be expected. So we're going to have to kind of go through and recoup some of the guys that we lost there in recruiting. And, you know, that's probably going to be it for this one. I want to see if there's... Okay, so let's go over our depth chart going into the season before we start week 1. We got Jalen Daniels at the 1. Isaiah Marshall, our number 2 as a freshman redshirt. You know, a guy that's probably going to be the starter next year, I would assume. But, you know, some of the guys we have as freshmen down here or whatever got redshirted. Halfback-wise, we got 2 seniors up top, and Morrison and Highshaw. Both, I think, are going to kind of share... basically the same. I would assume they each get 15 to 20 carries a game. They're just going to kind of share the ball, and depending on where I need them, that type of stuff. They're going to be the main 2 backs. Stewart as a freshman and sophomore, Johnny Thompson Jr. And then we went ahead and redshirted Tucker McCaleb as our freshman. Then we go over to wide receiver, and this is why I say I don't think we're going to have a great year, because if our halfbacks don't run well, I don't think our wide receivers are going to get much done. Honestly, our wide receivers aren't great. We have a ton of freshmen in there, and normally I wouldn't do this. Normally I try to redshirt them, but honestly, we have so many freshmen and not enough, you know, juniors and seniors that we have to play the freshmen. Like I'm even redshirting 1, 2, 3. Well, those are tight ends. I guess I'm redshirting 2 wide receivers out of this, and the rest are just going to be freshman wide receivers. So we're going to struggle. Same thing, tight end, freshman starting. Yes, that's going to be good when he's a junior. He's going to be a stud. But like for now, it's going to be a tough one. We got a freshman and a sophomore starting at tight end. Left tackle, we got a senior. Hopefully, I'm hoping that our offensive line is going to be good enough this year that we can really get the run game going, and that can kind of be what we hang our hat on, and hopefully it's enough to get a couple wins. If the games are not blowouts, if the games are close and we're behind by 14-21, it's going to be really tough to get us back into those games with what we have for wide receivers. So we want to make sure that we have the good offensive line and we got some decent running backs to kind of hit the holes and get us a bunch of yards rushing. Left guard, 79 sophomore. Center is an 88 senior. Right guard, senior, 86. And then right tackle is a 91 and senior. So again, besides our left guard, the rest of them are all seniors, which just means, you know, hey, next year going to be completely different. Left in, senior Burt. Right in, got a sophomore in Job. Defensive tackle Withers is back as a senior, and again, a bunch of seniors here at defensive tackle. We got a sophomore down here, probably gonna be our starter next year as a junior. But also, you know, we need to address the defensive tackle. We currently only have 1 defensive tackle, I believe, right? Yeah. So 2 of them got redshirted as freshmen. So next year we'll have 3 defensive tackles. So we need to add more there in recruiting. Left outside linebacker. This is where it gets kind of crazy. So we got John Kamara. He's a freshman redshirt, 89 overall. I think he's going to be really, really good for us. It says 77 up top right there. But for some reason, when you put him at left outside linebacker, he is an 89. And I'm not gonna move him. Absolutely not. He's an 89. Why would I move him as a freshman redshirt? So one thing we do have to look forward to is we got a pretty good left outside linebacker. Then we go to middle linebacker, where we got the boy, Marquez Mustard. I am going to love playing with him. I usually play as like a linebacker there in the middle. Mustard's probably going to be who I pick the most. And this is what I was talking about with recruiting on linebackers. This guy's 93 speed. 93 speed. I have halfbacks. I don't have any halfbacks that are that fast. But what this does, he's going to be good in pass coverage. He's going to be quick to the ball. All we have to really do is increase his awareness and increase his pursuit and stuff, and he should be pretty darn good. Now, he's not going to, get through blocks and stuff, but he is going to be all over the place. Think a 93 overall speed guy coming on a blitz up the middle. Good night. You're not going to be able to do much as a quarterback. So, again, this is a guy that I really like, and that's why he's starting as a freshman when, we have this guy as a freshman redshirt who's actually better overall. I just feel like Mustard could do more with that speed than Stewart would be able to do. Right outside linebacker is Gilliam, senior. Corner, we got one senior basically returning. The rest of them are all newbies, kind of. Dilworth, junior, freshman. So we got a lot of work to do here at corner. After losing the two big guys last year at seniors in the draft. I believe they were drafted round 2 and round 4, or round 3 and round 4. I don't remember now. But they were drafted in the top 5 rounds, so they're pretty good with, what can't I think of their names? With Kobe Bryant and... Then we go to free safety, where we have a senior and Dye, and then strong safety, we actually have a freshman redshirt there, which I think will be good free safety wise. I mean, we don't have a lot to hang our hat on. I guess a sophomore here is going to be good in a couple of years. And then we got a kicker, which we're going to roll with him just because we have him. Why not? But we really did good last year with the kicker and punter. And we kind of brought in 2 freshmen that I think are going to be very, very good in the future. So we brought those in last year. So those types of duties will be taken care of by the older gentlemen. But next year is going to be kind of when we bring in the young guns for the kicker and punter. Kick returner, punt returner, all that good stuff is there. And yeah, that's going to be the depth chart going into week 1 against Ball State. So that's going to be it for this one. I'm going to do the recruiting and stuff, and then I'm going to advance to the Ball State week, which is next week. And that will be the new episode for you guys coming out very soon. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Also, feel free to hit the red subscribe button and comment down below and let me know if there's a recruit that you saw in there that you really, really like and really want us to pursue heavily. Please comment that down below. Until next time, Slacker out.